You're welcome back. This is Newsfile. It's your most authoritative news analysis show. I'm Samson Ladi Ayenini. And this morning, very briefly, just to say congratulations to all those who got called to the bar yesterday to become lawyers, full-fledged lawyers, so to speak. I wish you the best and take the CJ's advice as well. Now, we are presently in a situation where we are debating the media, airspace, and the sanctions that have been given by or handed down by the NCA. And it brings up questions about whether or not there ought to be regulations or the media space ought to be regulated. It has often been said that we need to regulate the media. How much of regulation do we want? It does appear on one hand we are calling for regulations, and on the other hand we seem to be against regulations. Where do we end if there are no regulations? Now, one part of the issue that ought to be taken care of, and I'm not going to talk about what is happening now because as part of my rules, I don't talk about what we are going to discuss. There is the other aspect of the issue requiring regulations about what is known as media concentration or monopolies. And in the NDC's era, when they were in government, and when things went against them, they used to talk about the media tyranny. How do they explain that? That there is one entity that holds so many media entities together, subsidiaries, so to speak, and that they are able to use their network to emasculate or frustrate the party from telling the story the way it wants to tell it. Now, many years ago, we decided to bring together a bill known as the Broadcasting Bill. We were not able to pass it into law. In 2014, we looked at it again, transformed it, and it's now known as the 2014 Broadcasting Bill. Now, this bill is still not passed into law, even though the politicians have spoken about it over time and giving suggestions that it ought to be passed to regulate some aspect of the media, or it actually provides for an entire situation that covers all media, every aspect of the media that you can think about, including this special area that I'm talking about as well, which will come at us soon or later. Now, guess what? You will find that there is only one reason I have found that the politicians have not been interested in pushing that bill into law. It is because in that bill, provisions have been made so that political parties cannot operate radio stations. They will not have authorization to operate a radio station. The same will happen to persons who are controlled by politicians. They will not be given the opportunity to operate a radio station. There will be community radio stations dedicated to also emphasizing the Ghanaian culture. And guess what? The radio conglomerates or the media conglomerates that you know now will not have the space they have now, because you can only own one media entity in a maximum of 3 regions. You can't own more than one in one region. In the end, you can only own 3 stations across the country. I find that we probably may never pass the broadcasting bill. even though it holds the best solution to regulating the landscape and giving us the sanity that we require. It will empower the NCA a little more, empower the NMC too a little more, so that they can have teeth to bite. That's by way of my take. We want to regulate, but how much do we want to regulate?